So I'm Perry Dickinson from the University of Colorado, and I'll be covering 2005 through 2012. This has been a period with a number of positive signs for primary care research and NAPCRG, although the signs have sometimes been a bit confusing and somewhat difficult to follow. For one thing, policymakers in the US and Canada finally woke up and realized that they couldn't continue to ignore the problems created by inadequate support of primary care in our healthcare system. While this hasn't been solved satisfactorily to this date, it still has produced some movement in the right direction. This has been a period of rapid and sometimes extreme change for primary care practices and researchers in the US and Canada. Change can be scary, but it provides great opportunity for innovation, evaluation, and research, and we've been able to take advantage of at least some of these opportunities. Canada, as is common, was a little ahead of the United States with the Primary Care Transition Fund from 2000 to 2006, providing some funding for strengthening primary care practices. In the US, now healthcare reform has provided a bit of a focus on enhanced primary care practices, especially through the patient-centered medical home model. And this attention on primary care has particularly resulted from an increased body of evidence that health systems built around primary care have better quality and lower cost. We owe a great debt of gratitude to Barbara Starfield, a longtime NAPCRG collaborator that we lost last year for a lot of this evidence. All this has led to a period of very active primary care practice transformation. In the US, this is particularly focused around accomplishing what's called the triple aim of improving the health of the population and the experience of health care while decreasing the cost of health care. This has been a bit of a perilous process as there's not been a good roadmap, the directions aren't very clear, and we've been going way too fast for some of the curves we've faced. However, it's also caused the need for the type of work that we in this room know how to do. It's provided us with multiple large-scale practice redesign projects to evaluate and learn from. In response, we've increasingly blended health services research, quality improvement, and evaluation methods into new approaches for learning. This is reflected in the theme in this meeting of evaluating practice transformation that goes through the entire meeting. The increased focus on patient experience of care has also spurred more interest in community-based participatory research, an area that NAPCRG has provided early and ongoing leadership, and some emerging grant opportunities actually require at least some level of CBPR methods. No mention of patient-centeredness should pass without recognition of Ian McWhinney, who with his colleagues in Western Ontario developed and championed the patient-centered clinical method. As we move forward into the future of healthcare, patient-centeredness and patient engagement are becoming more and more important, and we need to really pay attention to that. Even the NIH and CIHR seem to be getting the message that, to some degree, beginning to understand that pouring all their money into research that never impacts the practice of medicine or patient outcomes may not be a great idea. While they haven't gone far enough with this, it's led to initiatives that we've been able to take advantage of. A current and future area that holds promise for refining our attempts to understand the complex systems and relationships in primary care is complexity science. This is another area where NAPCRG and its members have provided leadership with a special interest group and a lot of presentations at our meetings. NAPCRG's been a major catalyst for the development of practice-based research networks, as you have heard, and through this era they've continued to grow and flourish, moving into large-scale trials and practice transformation efforts. And over recent years, it's been particularly great to see the proliferation of PBRNs in Canada, with a lot of really interesting work there. NAPCRG's role in the development and nurturing of PBRNs and the ability of NAPCRG to run a really good meeting was recognized last year when AHRQ sought out NAPCRG to partner in putting on the continuation of their annual PBRN conference, which was floundering a little bit, and NAPCRG brought a new vitality to it. Those of you who have been active NAPCRGers for a number of years should recognize that we have really grown over the past decade or so. What was a relatively small group that could fit into a pretty small room actually has grown to a very big room, as reflected in right now, packed with a very, very diverse group of members. Over 1,100 members, growing number of researchers in training in our ranks, 800 or so people attending our meetings. A major issue over this period has been figuring out ways to maintain the warm, interactive, welcoming, and nurturing nature of our meetings in the face of this growth. We've had quite a balancing act, maintaining intimacy in the face of growth, balancing levels of activity and responsibility across the U.S. and Canada, and while established as a North American organization, valuing our growing number of international members and our status as the best primary care research meeting in the world. A lot of credit for NAPCRG's growth and stature goes to our executive directors and administrative team from STFM. Over this period, first Stacy Brungart and then Angela Broderick and their staff have provided administrative support and stability to allow us to grow in a balanced and at least halfway sane fashion. So what do the signs say regarding the next few years? I believe that in many ways things have never looked better for primary care research and for NAPCRG. Our work's needed, recognized, and impactful, but you never quite know what's lurking around the corner. NAPCRG, teamwork, as the sign says, a few harmless flakes working together can unleash an avalanche of destruction. Let's keep working together and see what sort of avalanche we can produce. Thank you.